Hi guys, welcome to another episode of the Oort Online World Builder. If you just stumbled across this video, make sure you check out the first couple, or the first one. In the playlist link down below, you can find all the World Builder tutorial episodes there. So last episode, we looked at all the basic functions of the program, and we started our first biome, which is called the Rocklands, in our Oort-inspired world, which we are basing off this this picture here. So yes, we got started, and I left you there because I wanted to play around with my height maps, and as you can see, I have done that. So I'm just gonna set my minimum height a little bit more actually. So as you can see here, we've got some really flat surfaces on the top of these, I guess, mountain hill kind of things, and then we got really flat surfaces on the ground as well. And if you look at the picture, it's kind of like that. I mean, you've got a little bit of like stuff going on the ground, but these mountains are like high. So yes, and as you can see, there's these rocks in the background that slant out like that. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to play with them, but I'm going to have a look at them whilst we're doing this tutorial and see if I can figure out something that's very similar, because these rocks kind of appear in the background of this picture as well. So I'll mess around and see if we can figure out how to do them. Now, we've got our height map there, so it's pretty basic at the moment. I mean, yeah, we can probably play around with it. I'm just going to show you what this would look like so far, just as it is, by looking at the deposited world. Okay, deposited world is basically what the world would look like, but it's got no fancy things like decorations. If you want all the decorations, trees, everything like that, you would press on Final World. So here is our deposited world. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I can get with that. I mean, yeah, it looks alright. Look, it looks fine. Okay, so if you want to have a look at what I did to make it like that, I added to the height map, I added a remap noise. Honestly, I don't know fully what these functions do, but this tends to work for me when I am building my worlds. So remap, I believe, just means that you can kind of set even more parameters to the basic height map. That's all I'm going to say. I'm probably completely wrong, but the best thing about this is you got to play with it yourself to find out what works and what doesn't. So yeah, and then I added a sub noise, which you can add two different types of noises. I added Perlin and Gabor. I mean, you can see our settings there. I don't know, you mess around with your own stuff. It's very, it's all about playing. That's how you're going to learn this program. So, we've got our height map. Now what do we do? Well, fortunately for us, this is all rock, basically. We've got some, these I think are what flowers are going to be. For now, we will probably add bushes, I think. Or should we add flowers? What do you guys think? I might add purple flowers. Purple flowers on rocks. That's going to look funny, isn't it? But let's have a look at what it's going to look like. So, what I would do, obviously we don't want just rock. We want stuff to be under the surface. You don't want to just dig down and just keep finding rock. So what I would do next is add a substrate. So you click on your right on here. Sorry, on your left. Right. I'm kidding, I know my left and rights. Obviously not, but... So you would add your substrate, so you tie that to there. And we have a substrate. We want a substrate on... Sorry, my bad. Substrate is what's on the surface of your main... Rock is just default. Substrate is what's on the surface. We want to add strata. We'll get to the substrate later. We want to add strata, I believe. Is that right? Probably not. Yeah, it is. So let's add a strata there. Now we want that strata to be... What should we have under the surface of our rocklands? Maybe... Who knows? Maybe we could have some clay under there. Maybe we could have some sand? Do you reckon sand? Glowstone, granite. So you can see there's lots of choice. We could just go with hardened clay for now. What do we think? Iron blocks, obsidian. Could be cool. Sandstone. Could go with sandstone. How about that? How about we go with sandstone? Smooth sandstone. Let's do that. Let's add a strata of smooth sandstone. Now, when I'm recording this, the sandstone blocks obviously aren't in the game, so in the game they will appear as debug blocks. But once they're added to the game, I think they should appear. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. So, let's have a look. So what you need to do is you need to go into your deposited world, and we'll just keep that up on the side here. Now, I'll keep clicking back to that. We want to replace stone. That's what we want to do. And if we zoom out, see here? See that big yellow line? That is now our strata. That's our sandstone. So, it's replacing stone. Our average depth, you can change how much of it. You can change whereabouts it sits. So if we wanted that to be on our surface, you can see here that that's literally just appearing on top of all our little mountain things going on. So, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. What we want to do is add this underneath the ground. But we don't want to be too far under the stone. So, where's our average Y? Let's have a look. It could be kind of cool. What does it look like on here? No, there's definitely nothing appearing. So we want this definitely to be underground. So let's keep knocking it down until it no longer appears on the surface. Let's make it about 70, 73. There we go. So it's under our surface. Now, it's a boring blank straight line at the moment. So what we would do is add some noise. So let's just add some purling noise. And let's add that to our depth noise. And we also need to make some Y noise. So depth noise is the difference between depth, like depth being how thick the layer is, and your Y noise is where it would appear on Y being block level. It's all very confusing, I'm sorry, but hopefully you're understanding this. So as you can see now, it's no longer just a straight line. So we will play with that even more. Let's add heaps more frequency. And let's change that noise scale to 8 or 9. Whoa! There you go. So there you can see it's huge. So I'm going to turn my average depth down because I want this to be a huge layer. There you go. And I'm going to just see how it's slightly peering out the top. We don't want that. So I'm just going to knock that down to maybe 70, 69. There we go. How's that? So when you're digging down now, you might not just find rock, you will also find sandstone. Let's add another one. Okay. Let's add another strata. Let's do granite. Granite is the standard. Let's make it replace stone as well. Let's do the same thing. Let's add some purling noise to both of them. Like so. And by the way, guys, if you get stuck and you want to get rid of them, say you want to get rid of the signal line there, you can always just click the X. That will delete the node. But you can also unattach them. On Macs it is anyway. It's Control and click. On Windows it might be something like also Control and click possibly. I don't know. But that's what it is on this. So let's add it to our depth noise. Let's add it to our Y noise. Okay, so we can see we've got some granite here appearing. Okay, now I want the granite to possibly just show just no I don't. Ignore me, sorry guys. I do want that to be thicker though, like so. Just add some noise to it. Let's make it just slightly lower than the sandstone, so maybe 59. So when people are digging down now, they will get to a layer of granite. It's almost like the stone's being built on top of, you know, how normal world generation takes place over millions of years. It's not too different. I want that to be more noisy though. I want it to be very noisy, so I'm going to turn up the noise scale heaps. As you can see, it's starting to appear through, which we don't want. Okay, so I'm just going to change the average Y depth down again. We've got some of this appearing through as well. Let's just change that. We've still got some appearing through. No, naughty. How's that? No. We've still got little naughty blocks appearing through, so we're just gonna... It's all about messing with these kinds of things. How's that? Still a couple of naughty blocks, but that could be alright. How's that? You know what? Let's just... Because what's going to happen is you're going to add caves, and you're going to be able to see this when you're exploring caves. Turn that down even more. There we go. No more naughty blocks. So, that's what it looks like. And you see this white layer down the bottom? That is, that's bedrock. I would say so anyway. I'm not sure, but I would say that's bedrock. So, we've got a world that's very flat. It's got some mountains on it. They're also very flat. Not looking too dissimilar from this. Now, to get these big, high things, I'm going to have a mess around. It might have to be something to do with 3D worlds. I might have to do something with, it could be even another biome that specifically surrounds this biome. I will have to have a look at that. But for now, that's not looking too bad. So, let's, you know what, let's add some stuff on the surface. So, as you can see on here, there's nothing on the surface, really. There's plants, that's it, and some cows, or what looks to be cows. Who knows what they're going to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some plantations. No, we're not. We're going to add some decorations. Sorry, my bad. I'm going to get rid of this one, because decorations don't show up on the deposited world. We're going to open up the final world, which takes longer to render. Just keep that in mind. It does take longer to render. And we're going to add some purple flowers everywhere on the rocks. It's going to be strange, but it looks to be what they've got going on here, because I think these are what flowers are going to turn into, I think. So, unless we can find some other... What's in plantations? Let's have a look. Oh, our plantations are down here. Alpine, Decadus, Crystal, Boulder, Bush, Basic Tree. I'm not sure, so I'm not going to touch... I'm just not sure. Just not sure. I'm just going to leave it. Just going to leave it. So we're going to add some flowers instead. So, let's go down to... Oh, and by the way, if it's ever getting messy, guys, what you can do is you can just zoom out, zoom back in on your main... is it here? No, it's up here, isn't it? Whoops. You need to click on the top branch, which in our case is the generator or even the true, and you need to go auto layout. See how that makes everything neat, everything tidy. Lovely. But we do need to add our standard decoration. We need to attach this to our biome part. Now, on the surface, on smooth, I don't know what smooth and discrete is. I'm not sure. Let's just go with smooth for now. We could add long grass, but we're not going to. We are going to add... what are we going to add? We're going to add purple flowers, won't we? Now, let's just double check to make sure there's nothing in here that could be those new... I've seen these new flower things, by the way, in some screenshots of the new textures, so I know they're coming. I'm just going to assume that they're flowers. So where's our purple flowers? P for purple. Purple flowers, there we go. Okay, we want to constrain that. Constraint means what it can only grow on, so we want to constrain that to our stone. Where's our stone? There we go, stone. Alright, now we need to add some noise to that. So we will add some... Let's go with... Because we don't want them to be too many of them. So let's go with... Let's go with Perlin for now. We might have to play with that. We might have to play with the sum or the product. Just because we don't want there to be like so many flowers everywhere. It just look crazy. So you can see our flowers now. Yeah, that would be full of flowers. Now the flowers obviously aren't color coded. They just look white in this. But that's what the flowers look like. So we don't want that many flowers. So what we will do is, and also if we look on here, the flowers don't grow on the cliffs, they grow on the ground here. So we will set a maximum Y, so Y being our level, our height level. What if we set that to 96? Where will they grow now? Ah, there you go. So you can see they will only grow slightly on the start of these hills, and they will grow on the ground of the hills. So we shall, that's good, that's what we want, because we don't want them on the top of the mountains, on top of the hills. We will, maximum gradient is how, gradient is, what gradient is that? Like, so maximum gradient, you don't want them basically growing on hills. I don't know, stay with me. So you can set that there, and you can set the threshold to how many flowers, I believe. So see how that added just a ton more flowers. We don't want that many flowers. We want as little as possible. Well, not as little, very minimal amounts. That's probably still too much. Let's go with even less. Even less than that. That's probably still quite a lot. But as you can see, they're clumped together. So if I added, or what happens if we do that? So we would get big clumps. We don't want that. We want lots of frequency on our Perlin noise. And we're going to have to turn the threshold down as well. So let's turn our threshold down again. Very small. Even smaller. All the way down to negative 0.999. And we've still got too many. So what I would then do is go into a product noise or some noise in these kind of things and mess with that. Which I will do off camera because that's boring. But you get the general gist. So, in fact, I might just turn this frequency down just for now. We don't want that many. Can I turn it down even more? What happens if we go to -1? Is that going to get rid of them all? Nope. Okay, cool. Cool. Now, what we're going to do... Actually, if we have a look at that... No, sorry. Ignore me. So now we've got lots of flowers everywhere. Probably too much, but I'll fix that in a second. I'll fix that later. So we've got flowers. Now what we would do is add probably caves. If you want to add trees, you would go into plantations. If you want to add lakes, you would add a lake. Or blah, blah, blah. What could we have as an ore? I'll just show you an ore example. What could we have as an ore in rocklands? Coal? Just coal? Or iron? Copper. Let's go with copper. Okay, so copper still isn't in the game, but it will be. So we will add a ore node. Let's just chuck it in there for now. We're just going to move that down. Let's chuck in an ore, attach that. Let's add some ores. Now you need to go over to this, add an elliptical vein, which will appear. There we go. And then you attach that to there. Hopefully you're starting to understand how this program works. There's lots of attaching and playing. That kind of stuff. So we want to constrain it to stone. Yeah, absolutely. We want to make it iron ore. Where's our... Oh, sorry, copper ore. Copper. There we go, copper ore. We want to add some noise. So see how this is red noise? We want to add some red noise. Let's add 2 lots of Perlin red noise. 3D noise. Okay. Hopefully you should be able to see it start popping up. There we go. So see how that's all ores. We don't want that much, do we? That's a lot. That's a lot of copper. So what we would do is we make sure the max Y is below our ground level. And we have our ground level set to, where is it? The program's running a bit slow because it's doing all this rendering. It doesn't like the distorted worlds. It's just going to take its time. See how it's so slow, but that's just because my computer can't handle it. If you have a good computer, good for you. It still didn't. Okay, it didn't set the max Y. Let's set the max Y to, come on. 48, and that's probably a little bit low. Up a little bit. There we go, 74. Let's see what 74 looks like. Just let it do its thing. So now our ores have headed underground. they're probably still too low. You still got to dig a fair bit to get to them. So let's just bump that up maybe to 85. See what that looks like. Okay, they're getting closer. I would just bump it up just slightly more. Maybe to 89, there we go. And I'm going to turn my threshold down because there's too many. Now you can set the size of these ores, as you can see here. So we'll just, lots of playing around. I'm just going to make our threshold small. We don't want too much copper. Let's have a look and see what that looks like. That looks like no copper at all, which is not good. Let's just add some. There we go. You can see it starting to pop up. Sorry. Let's add a little bit more. There we go. That's a little bit of copper. So when you're digging now, you will find copper. I just want to set that max wide just slightly higher again. Probably 96. You know, it might start appearing. What I don't want to do is start appearing on the surface. It might, but that's okay. Whatever. But that's looking all right. Okay, so you can see you would dig into a lot of copper. So there's only going to be copper in our rocklands, which is the idea of Oort eventually is going to be that you have to travel to different worlds to get different things. So for instance, in Vehicle, there's tons of emeralds, but there's probably no emeralds anywhere else. So you're going to have to make your way to Vehicle if you wanted emeralds, which is a really cool thing, because eventually you'll have to use portals and stuff like that. But anyway, there we go. So I would say that this biome is almost complete. I just need to mess with the flowers. I'll do this all off screen. I'll see if I can figure out how to put those funny shaped rocks in this biome. If not, we can make a separate biome that's very similar. And yeah, we'll see how we go. I will see you guys next episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check the playlist out below if you haven't already. If you've got any questions or answers, please feel free to ask. I will be doing question and answer videos a month after this. See you next episode, guys.